Get yourself ready for an interdimensional sensory experience. Welcome all to the dimension of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. This is the 5D Podcast.
Oh yeah, that's better.
That's
see
cool.
Now you can see the boxing poster.
Yeah.
There you go. That's better.
I would normally do this in my man cave, but we're kind of decorating the whole house at the moment, so I'm just stuck in my little room corner here at the moment. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, we all need a man cave, right? Every man needs a little man cave.
I need to get away so I can study and do work, and nobody can bother me back here.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way of the kids and everybody else. Yeah. Out of the way of the kids and everything like that. Yeah.
That's right.
Listen. Yeah. Obviously, one of the reasons why I'm talking to you is that the Pirates of the Caribbean. 15 years. I can't believe it's 15 years, man. It's. Does it feel weird talking about something 15 years ago that probably lasted just for a few weeks or a few months of your life? Is it still a strange thing or what?
Well, it lasted. For me, most of us, we shot for 6 months.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
So it was a while. And we became most of us became pretty good friends.
Yeah.
We're still friends actually, and we still in contact. But honestly, it feels like yesterday. I can't even believe that it's been 15, 16 years ago already that this film came out, and most people thought it was going to be a failure, and it ended up being one of the best pirate movies ever made, if not the best.
I think because pirate movies hadn't really been done for a while before that, had they? I think there was Cutthroat Island, which had kind of bombed a wee bit a few years before, and I think that was kind of really about it. And it kind of took people by surprise, didn't it? The success of the film.
Yeah. And once we kind of saw what was going on, the way it was being shot, and what we were doing. We knew we were part of something special, but really we didn't know until we saw the trailer for the first time. It hadn't been released yet. We were at a Super Bowl party in the Caribbean, and they showed us I think it was like a 2 or 3 minute trailer, and we all looked at each other, and we were like, oh, we're in for something. This is a lot bigger than what we thought. We were in the thick of it. We're doing all this cool stuff and all that. We don't know how it's all going to piece together. We don't know how the CGI is going to look. And I got to hand it to them. They did a terrific job, amazing job.
I've often asked actors about when you're filming, can you feel what it's like? And some actors have said they have no clue. Some actors have said no, they actually can sometimes sense when something good is happening. Did you have that at the time, that something special was kind of as you were working along?
Yeah, we all had a sense of it, and mainly because of Jeffrey and John and Jeffrey watching what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then just the look of it, because we would go back and watch playback sometimes, and just looking the look of what I think his name was Danis. Danis was the DP, and his camera operator Martin and all that. Yeah. And the look and what they created, this mood and the style, and then Jeffrey and Johnny just doing their thing and doing it well and unique, and just watching them have so much fun.
Yeah.
We had at least most of us did, that we felt like this is going to be a really cool movie.
You talk about having fun. I've read a couple of interviews about your filming of that. I'm actually surprised that you can remember much about it, because from the interviews I've read, it's kind of the day's filming and the night's just drinking rum and playing poker, and it was like that sounds like a great 6 months to me. 6 months in the Caribbean, rum and poker at night.
We had our share of that. Kevin McNally was the leader of gathering the boys to play poker late at night, and stay up till 4 in the morning drinking rum, playing poker. They're having a good time, killing time. There's not much to do when you're in this volcanic island. There's really no clubs and bars to go hang out at. So we were our own company.
Has it been? Would you say it's been a hindrance or a help to your career, the film? Because obviously, people like myself, anybody, is one of the first things I want to talk to you about. But has it been a help or a hindrance?
I mean, for me, I embrace it. I embrace being part of this film, being part of a film that will hold its hold in value or whatever that term is years to come. And I feel like it's helped my career.
Yeah.
I mean, without being part of this film, I don't know if I would have gotten a lot of these other meetings I've gotten in other roles. And luckily, I mean, I really haven't been typecast as a pirate. I mean, I'll go into pirate stuff, and they're like, "Hey, that was all the makeup." I mean, I brought the essence to the character, but the rest of it, I don't have a beard like that. I don't have stars and all that, And they did a fabulous job with the makeup. But no, it's truly been a blessing, and it's definitely helped my career and open up doors. And, and continue to the day I die.
It's interesting you say that, because some actors I spoke to that have been known for a particular role, 15, 20, 30 years, whatever ago, are sometimes kind of almost resented, that being sort of typecast, and for a while didn't want to talk about it. It's interesting that you've kind of embraced it and used it to your advantage. Seems like the best way to go for me. Was there ever time when you thought,
why hold animosity or negativity towards something that's so brilliant?
Yeah,
it's cool. I mean, this is what we do. This is why we become actors, to get the opportunities like being in a pirate film. I'll tell you right now, I'm sure if you go out at an airport or ask a plane crew, hey, you want to play a pirate, or ask any actor if they would want to play a role in Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm pretty sure 99.9 would say, oh yeah.
Was it one of the first roles that you had, or had you been around quite a while before that as a kind of struggling actor? What had been the situation leading up to Pirates of the Caribbean?
I was working. I was doing well. I was doing a lot of commercials.
Yeah.
And, I was getting a lot of indie film roles and some television roles. So yeah, I was doing well. I was doing what I was doing. I was making a living as an actor.
What made you get?
After it's just created more opportunity.
Sure.
And continue to work more.
What got
I'm
you?
Still a character.
What got you into acting in the first place? Then what was it? What was the bug that bit? Was it from very young, or was it something that you kind of just, I don't know, drifted into? What was the process when in your younger days?
Well, what happened was I was playing a lot of sports. I was pretty athletic.
Yeah.
And then I just started breakdancing with some cousins of mine. And next thing I know, became pretty good at it, and we formed a dance crew. And one thing led to another. Somebody who knew me said they were looking for a kid who could dance and play basketball for a play on the east side of Cleveland called the Caribou House, which is a pretty well-known African-American theater company. And so I went over there and auditioned. I could dance, play basketball. I never acted before, but gave it a shot, and I did pretty good. And they asked if I could sing. I said, no, but we wrote the music, and so they had me rap. And I got the part, and that kind of segued my career into acting. I started taking classes and started doing more theater, and just fell in love with it, and just kept going, kept dancing, and yeah, I mean that's how it all started.
How did you find the audition process? Because I can imagine. I mean, I've never done a day's acting in my life. I never even thought about it. But the one thing that would scare me would be the auditioning, the rejection, or what's the process been like for you? And is it a kind of, have you changed over the years now in your terms to how you react and how you approach these things?
I think it's all about attitude. I mean, at first, when I first started, there was a lot of nervous energy and all that. And I was just like, really, do I have to go audition? Why don't they just give me the part? But hey, it's a process.
Yeah.
Now I look at it in a different way. I look at it as an opportunity to act, opportunity to perform, and it's another chance to get something really cool, another gig.
Yeah.
The butterflies are still there, but it's not like I'm sitting there torturing myself. I mean, do I really got to go, or do I have to do it? And luckily, I get stuff offered to me now, which did happen when I first started because nobody knew who I was. So that's great, you got to look at it as an opportunity to succeed. I mean, if you're in this business and you want to start out, you have to audition and look at it as a chance to show someone what you can do who doesn't know you.
You don't need to actually name maybe any names or film. Has there ever been a part that you've auditioned for that you thought you'd nailed and got it, maybe a big part, and then you haven't, and it's just been like, why?
All the time. All the time. This happened recently for, I think it was for, what was the show? I think it was Batwoman. I think there's a new Batwoman.
New Batwoman, yeah.
I just read for a reoccurring role on the show. I don't remember the character's name, but I thought I killed it. Well, I know I did. But hey,
yeah, damn right.
The thing is, even though I did a great audition and hit a grand slam, there's somebody else maybe that came in that looked the part more than I did.
Yeah.
That they had that image of this guy.
Maybe.
And that's what it is sometimes,
Yeah.
You can't beat yourself up over not getting the part or this or that. Just go in there, do a great job, and when the cards fall, they fall. But
I can.
It's disappointing. But you know what? Honestly, I'm so busy now. That's the great thing about being a dad. I don't have time to sit around and poor me and have self-pity. I mean, I didn't get this part. What am I going to do now?
So how old are the kids?
No time to feel sorry.
How old are the kids now? Are you kind of at that age where they're...
He's going to be 7 next month.
Oh wow, that's okay, that's an interesting age just coming. So what sort of dad are you? The kind of controlling dad, you will do this, or are you kind of easygoing? What sort of?
No, I'm more the dad that likes. I'm not controlling at all. The only thing that I focus on with him is being disciplined. And if you're gonna play a sport, like right now he's playing baseball, and I'm one of the coaches, and I want to make sure he practices, and I always want to make sure he tries. And that's the thing about karate too. He does karate and boxing, all the things that I like to do growing up. I've been kind of teaching him how to do, but I got to step back. That I got to remember it didn't come that easy. Some things came easily to me, but it's the thing. You continue practicing, you continue to get better.
I mean, and there will be that day a few years down the line when, if he continues this, he will be able to whip your ass. So he'll be
and I love it.
You talk about the audition and the controller. Is that why you went into? Because you've done quite a bit of producing as well, haven't you? So was that why the production thing kind of happened? It's to give you that element of just you can control what you do?
That's part of it, and part of it also was to get the opportunity to play roles that I normally don't get to play.
Yeah.
So I get to challenge myself on the producing side and also the acting side. And just keep that creativity going.
I saw a film of yours about a year or so ago now, and this even before you were my target, to speak to. When I found out the other day that you'd produced Act of Desperation, I think it was Act of Desperation.
Oh yeah, it just came out that came out like 5 months ago.
Yeah, I was sent a screener for it, and I got to see it an online screen, which was I think Kira Reid was in it as well.
Yeah, Kira Reid was the lead in it,
and she produced it with you, I think. You both produced that film, and I think was it Tom Savino as well? Was it?
Yeah, Paul Sereno.
Paul Sereno, sorry, Tom Sereno. Paul Sereno as well. So how did that come around in terms of the cast? You know, we've got some big names in there. You've got, obviously, it's quite a big deal. How did that come around in terms of producing, something like that?
It just came about through relationships. Like Trevor Etienne, the other lead, he was in Pirates with me.
Right.
So that's how he got that part, and I was able to get him. And then Jason Gedrick, he's another friend, poker playing buddy. And then it so happened that Kira and I go way back from acting class, and we stayed in touch through the years. And she loved the script, and then she happened to have a relationship with Paul Savino, and that's how it all came to be.
And it's a good film as well. Were you pleased with the result? Because I thought it was an excellent film.
I was. I thought it was very well filmed. I thought it was very well shot. I thought the performances were solid, and I thought everybody brought their A game to it. I thought Kira, Trevor, Jason, Paul, Chris Coppola, another buddy of mine who played opposite me, did all fantastic jobs. And we all were able to feed off of each other and try to, when you do these little indie films, that's the kind of cool thing about it, is the acting can elevate the story and elevate the film.
Yeah. And
you all feed off of that as actors.
What about, there's a film, I don't think it's released just yet, you correct me if I'm wrong, Trauma Therapy. Is that one of the very recent things that you've just done?
Yeah, that one just got released last week.
Okay. What's that about? Just let us know what's a kind of basic.
For me, I play kind of like a Igor type, like Frankenstein. I'm kind of like Igor. There's a character named Vance Tobin played by Tom Malloy, and he's kind of like an Anthony Robbins type.
Yeah.
And he's this motivational speaker guru. We take five people to the mountains because they're trying to find that secret or meaning of life, and trying to change themselves. But what they found out, they were in for something a lot more different.
All right. Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
It's a thriller, and we got some good people in there.
Is that out on general release, or is it streaming or video on demand? Do you know?
It had a small theatrical release, but now it's out on all the digital platforms: Amazon, Google, DirecTV, Dish, iTunes, Vudu. Yeah, so it's out there.
I'll give that a root out. You mentioned talking about video on demand and streaming and so forth. Obviously, you'll have seen some changes over the years with the advent of all this stuff. Has that made it easier or more difficult to, make a living, to be successful in the industry now? Has it helped or hindered?
I mean, it helps the film get out there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's so many places now to go with movies, but it creates more content.
Yeah.
So there's more competition.
Yeah.
So when you have more competition, it's harder for people to find your film. So you got to do interviews like these. You got to do publicity.
Yeah.
And to try to find an audience. And I think that's what's hard now with indie film is that. It's hard to find an audience. I mean, you can win all these awards at festivals, but it still doesn't mean you're going to find an audience.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, with Netflix, with Hulu, with Amazon Prime, and HBO, there's so many avenues now out there that are making really good quality product. Some really cool television shows.
Yeah.
And I say this, I mean, television is what the 70s were to movies.
It's a golden age, isn't it? I think now with TV these days, I don't know, with stuff that's coming out of America particularly, the Breaking Bad, you go back to like The Sopranos, West Wing, and the current stuff as well. I think we are in a... it's a golden age, isn't it?
Narcos, and it's just hard to keep up with everything. So in some way, shape, or form, you're getting your film out there, but it is, I'll say it is hard to make your money back.
Yeah. If you could I mean, I was looking through your IMDb sort of list of work that you've done, and you've done a huge body of work over the years. I mean, producing, acting. What's the one thing, if you could nail down one particular role or one project you've been involved in film-wise, what are you most proud of personally in terms of maybe performance or something? Is there one thing that you think that's the one that I want to be, regardless of whether it's Pirates or whatever? What's the one thing that you would say you're proudest of?
There are two films that I'm proud of. One is Alvarez and Cruz, which was the first film that I wrote and co-wrote and co-produced and starring, because it was a personal story about not knowing my dad not being in my life and that. So my partner and I had a similar story, and we created this film about that.
Yeah.
And so definitely that performance was I really enjoyed and thought it was true to heart. And then Halfway to Hell, when I play the pedophile.
Right.
Because originally I wasn't supposed to play that role. I was supposed to play something else, but nobody didn't want to play it.
Yeah.
And I was really nervous about it, to be honest, but I just took on the challenge and try to bring something different to the role, which I think I did.
I mean, what was it about that particular role? Because obviously the subject matter, as you say, there'd be some actors that would just say, look, I can't even go near that sort of thing, regardless of what. Did you have to find something in the character that you would still find, I don't know, at least positive, or something that you could latch onto? What was the process about that part?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember the thing that got me was one, I don't like to run away from a challenge.
Yeah.
So that was the thing.
Yeah.
So I fought it, but then I was like, hey, I'm an artist, I'm an actor. These are the kind of roles that some actors who kill the play kill the play.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I took on, and then I don't want to be fearful of any role. I want to attack it and challenge it.
Yeah.
So that was number one, and number two was I wanted to bring a sense of that the character had a heart, and meaning that he had humanity. It sounds crazy, but
no, I understand.
When you watch the film, I wanted to make the audience feel for me and then feel like, why am I feeling for this?
Yeah.
I want to hate this guy, but I can't. And I think it does come across on screen. And that's how I try to portray it.
That's really interesting because, I mean, characters occasionally, whether it's a paedophile or mass murderer or serial killer, sometimes can be portrayed with kind of one-dimensional. Whereas, most people that commit crimes, particularly even these terrible crimes, are not completely, it's not black or white. There are grey areas, and it's interesting where you try to find some sense of humanity in a character, because the worst thing that we can then do is, like you say, feel sorry for somebody or start to empathise with somebody. Then you realise, oh my God, this person's this, and it kind of brings out these conflicting emotions, doesn't it? It's really interesting.
Yeah, because the easy part was to play as a monster and get everyone that hate me, that hate the character. But the monster is inside. Yeah. So it's like, when do you let the monster out? And you're battling with this, but that was the challenge to find to get people to have that empathy, the audience to have that empathy for this character.
What was the reaction after you played that? Did anybody? Were there any positive or negative reactions even once you played that from public or anybody at all?
Overall, it's been positive, I would say, because some actors, like, I don't know how you took out a lot of respect.
Yeah.
A lot of respect. That was one thing, and then the other, I remember some of the response, I just wanted to hate you, but I couldn't, and then they were like, I hate you for making me like you, But it's a human being, so so you got to tap into that humanity of it.
So the career's going well. Then you're happy with your lot in terms of acting and producing. You're kind of in a good place.
What's that?
Yeah, in terms of the acting and producing, do you feel as if you're in a good place then these days with your career?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm in a very good place right now. we got one documentary that I'm helping produce, and another one that I'm helping produce.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like I'm in a good place
Yeah.
as actor slash producer and maybe someday director.
Yeah. I was talking just on the final thing in terms of what you've got coming up. I was very envious of you the other day because you posted a picture. Because I've hit you up on Facebook, and thank you for accepting the friend request and all this stuff. So I've been following some of the stuff that you've been posting, and I was really jealous the other day. Forget the Johnny Depp stuff, forget all that. You posted a picture of you with Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, obviously you've got the boxing thing. Is it the Almirante Cup? Is that have I pronounced that right? Is it Almirante?
Almirante Cup.
Oh, okay.
And it's he's was the grandfather of the main Filipino promoter of global boxing and GBO. He comes from a line of boxers and managers and promoters from the Philippines.
Yeah. So this is it's the celebrity poker event that's happening. I think this weekend, isn't it? This Saturday.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
So that's to raise money for what? It's to do.
It's raising money for retired world champions and boxers who didn't get the big purse like they get now.
Yeah.
So a lot of these fighters, they need help with their finances. So we're going to try to raise as much money as possible to go into this fund for them.
Yeah. Are there still tickets left for the weekend? Are there still tickets? Are there still tickets available? Are there still places available for people?
Oh yeah. There's still a lot of spots available, and you can follow me on Facebook for the link, or go to Almirante Cup on the Facebook page, or Global Boxing. And we have some great people coming out, like Floyd Mayweather Sr., Layla Ali, Danny Little Red Lopez, Brian Fulahoria, who's a flyweight champion, and the list just goes on and on and on. And a lot of good actors too.
Yeah, I mean, I've never boxed, I must admit, but I was a huge fan of boxing back. My dad was a big boxing fan, and he was a huge fan of Muhammad Ali, and we used to get up and listen before the internet to Ali's fights back in the 70s. We got up to listen to the Thriller in Manila with George Foreman, but the 80s era of the middleweight, so the kind of Hagler, Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, that's a kind of, for me, it's kind of the golden era. So when I saw you the other day with Sugar Ray Leonard, it was like, man, that was just, Did you go fanboy then? Was it, what were you like when that happened?
Oh, when I found out he was there, I said, I gotta go talk to him. I mean, as a little boy, I used to watch all his fights or watch some of the replays of it, and especially went back and watched his Olympic run. I think it's 76 in Montreal, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And then watching him watch some of the replays of his fights with Fredo Benitez, Roberto Duran, the No Mas one, the rematch, because he lost the first one.
Yeah.
And then they had the rematch, but Duran didn't have enough time in training. And then the Thomas Hearn Wars and Marv Hagler Wars too.
That's my.
I think they were calling them.
Yeah, I mean the Hagler Hearns fight, the one that went, I think it only went about 3 rounds. It's a short fight, but it's like 3 rounds are just mayhem, and I think that's probably my favourite ever fight. Even though Hearns was probably Thomas Hearns was probably my favourite of those kind of 4. I liked Leonard and I liked Duran. Hagler, I don't know. I can never kind of, I know he was a great fighter, but it was the Hearns Hagler fight for me that was just, for me, is the best thing, ever.
Thomas Hitman Hearns. He was so amazing.
It's a great era, wasn't it? It was a fabulous era for a kind of that middleweight sort of division of boxing.
Right, it was. I don't know. I mean, there's some great young fighters right now. That's what's good too. LA, California is like this mecca of boxing, and there's so many talented fighters around here right now, which is crazy. So being at that event, like the Global Boxing and Red Boxing with Ray Rodas, who's, I guess, the first Filipino promoter here in the U.S., And just looking at this talent coming up, and I don't know how much you follow it now, but like Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez and Golovkin.
Yeah.
The heavyweight division is making a comeback now.
Thankfully, the heavyweight division, I mean, the heavyweight division up. Yeah. It's been sad, I think, what's happened to the heavyweight division over the last sort of 10 years or so, because it was obviously, the thing back in the day, but I think now you're right. I think boxing is kind of finding its feet again. And it'd be interesting to see where it goes, because I mean, over here in the UK, we've got a number of sort of great fighters. We've got Josh Warrington, who's a fine sort of prospect, and so I think it is kind of looking a bit healthier. Be interested to see where it goes. So I wish you the best of luck with the poker event. So are you going to be playing? Are you going to be?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be playing. And, we're giving away everybody who makes the final table. They're going to get a GBO boxing glove and hand wraps and a cap. And then for first, second, and third, it's going to be actual boxing world championship belts that they're going to get.
Wow.
For first place, second place, and third, which is kind of cool.
That's very cool.
It's been done at a poker tournament. So come out and play. Come and see some actors. Come and see some fighters. You'll have a great time this Saturday from 5 to 11. And any info, you can go to the Armamente Cup or track me down on Facebook, Vince Lozano page, and it's out there.
Sounds great, man. That sounds. I'm very envious. It sounds great. So if you meet any more big names and you post them on Facebook, just tag me and just say, look, Stuart, Thomas Hearns, here we go. All that stuff. So what else is what else is the future then? You mentioned the documentaries, and obviously you've got the trauma therapy coming out. Anything else that's happening in the near future?
Yeah, I got a TV series coming out called Golden Revenge through Warner Brothers. I think it's going to end up on streaming on the Warner Brothers streaming site. Got that coming out, and what else? I got another film coming out, Promising Young Women, later this year, which I got a couple scenes in. And that's about it for now. Trauma Therapy's out, and then producing this other documentary, a couple documentaries, and we'll see where that goes.
Cool. Sounds busy, man. It sounds great. Sounds cool. Listen, Vince, thanks for your time. Appreciate you making the time early in the morning for me. I wish you the best of luck with everything, and hopefully we'll be in touch again. And you keep posting those pictures on Facebook, man, because they'll be great. The boxing stuff, it'll be cool.
I will.
All right, man.
Thank you so much.
You enjoy the rest of your day, mate. All right. You take care.
Take care.